from Messner Gym in Napa. It's a full day of VVAL Championship Wrestling, a league pennant on the line, and so much more. It's on X on Trojan Live.
Touchdown, Trojans!
Unbelievable! And good morning from Napa High School. I'm Griffin Epstein. What a day we have coming up. We will have every single wrestling match from the opening JV match all the way to the Varsity Finals covered here today. It is a huge morning that will stretch into the afternoon, and a league pennant is on the line. For the Petaluma Trojans, they are hoping for their third straight league pennant and their first ever Vine Valley Athletic League title in wrestling, hoping to make history tonight after they went 6-0 in the regular season. Individual wrestlers will also be looking to take home titles as they start their road to NCS, and for many, both Petaluma wrestlers and many other wrestlers here at the Vine Valley Athletic League Championship Tournament, eyes on state start this afternoon in Napa. It's going to be a great morning into afternoon into evening. Full wrestling matches coming up right here on Trojan Live.
And we welcome you up top, Messner Gym. We're going to get as many matches in as possible throughout the morning into the afternoon, and whatever school you are from, fan you are from, we hope to have many of your wrestlers covered. But of course, we're going to be focusing on the regular season undefeated Petaluma Trojans, who are hoping to clinch a league pennant with their varsity team today. JV matches to start. We've got a Petaluma v. Petaluma to start off the morning. JV matches we'll start with their quarterfinals and semifinals. Constellation matches, and we'll go on to varsity quarterfinals. We're finishing with the JV finals, and the early to mid-afternoon will be in the varsity finals, which is the big time. Seeing Dylan Baltazar against Dylan Bianchi, two Dylans, both from Petaluma, both freshmen going at it here, and it's 2-1 early here between two teammates. 4-1 as Baltazar leads Bianchi. Obviously an interesting dynamic. We're not going to see that at the varsity level, but at the JV level we are going to see Petaluma with its numbers, a couple JV wrestlers going against each other and potentially in the championship as well, as Baltazar has the upper hand on the freshman Bianchi. Got him in the pin briefly. Bianchi spun away. 3 mats. So matches will go a lot quicker than last year, and was at the SCL Championships. They had 2 mats, double the time. And by the time we start with the varsity finals, it'll be just 1 middle mat. And we'll have everyone's attention and decide who are VVAL champions. For 6-1, Baltazar at the end of the first period. The quarterfinals of 106 here for the lightweights. And Brooklyn Shattuck, who is the Trojans' top girl wrestler, just started her match, and question is, with no varsity girls tournament, will Shattuck be able to win her JV boys weight class? That would be a remarkable accomplishment, but it certainly seems possible for Brooklyn Shattuck, who went to state last year as a freshman. Shattuck thrown to the ground. She trails early here, 2-0. 1 minute gone in the first. She's taking on Zachary Roman of American Canyon. Amelia Grevin is on the second mat in the same weight class as Shattuck at 113. Bianchi and Baltazar as well in the same weight class. Shows the depth of Petaluma, 80 wrestlers on the team, far more than any other. Casa Grande has the second most at about 50. American Canyon has a similar number. Could expect a lot of Trojan dominance over the course of the evening. Shattuck is out of your picture right now. We've got a patron, but she has Roman in the pin. Roman trying to squirm away as we're tied at 2. It was a slow start for Shattuck, but she started to turn it around, turn her body and get in position. Baltazar leading Bianchi, 8-2 now. And after a slow start for Shattuck, she leads 5-2 at the end of 2. On to the second mat where Siabelia Grevin taking on Graham Gondorga. Grevin only a freshman, but very talented. Went to state as an 8th grader last year for junior high wrestling. Grevin trailing 2-0 in the first. She gets the point for the escape. As they take a paraphernalia break, back over to Shattuck's match. 5-2 the lead. And Shattuck in control. It's a unique situation to have girl against boy, but Shattuck already did that once this year, against Justin Sienna. Trojan's dual meet, she actually wrestled, Justin Sienna didn't have a girls team, so she wrestled a boy and won against the Braves. Shattuck in control early. She finished undefeated in VVAL this year. In her varsity girls matches, 3 of them she had. And she'll be headed to NCS next week, hoping to once again make state. Nice turnaround to the offensive. And on the other mat, but 2 points for the reversal for Brooklyn Shattuck, the sophomore. 7-2, she leads Roman. Baltazar cruising over Bianchi right now, 8-2. And Grevin trailing 2-1 in her match. Lots of purple and black on the mat at the moment. What a move by Shattuck. On the back, turns Roman around. Roman's got the hands up on Shattuck's chin, just trying to keep some strength from her to avoid the pin, but Shattuck is awfully close now. It's a lot of hand fighting. Under 10 seconds to go. And that's the end of 2. Shattuck in complete command of the American Canyon wrestler, Zachary Roman. Over the second mat where Grevin's in a battle right now, 150 remaining in the second. She trails 4-1. Grevin's had a good year as well for Petaluma as a freshman, and Shattuck, who went to state last year as a freshman, for finishing 3rd in their class at NCS. Feels like Grevin could certainly have the opportunity as well. She's trailing 5-1 here, though, work to do. It's the Grizzly of Napa. Grevin first place, the Vallejo tournament, varsity girls. A cagey match here between 2 lightweights. A lot about the athleticism. Grevin trying to go low. Did a nice job here. Grizzly wrestler, comfortable on your home gym and your home mat. It's going to give now a talented Napa team an advantage here this afternoon. As Grevin slowly churning over Graham Gongorga. Baltazar has defeated Bianchi. Grevin about to wrap up her match and move on to the JV semifinals. Grevin's got the right foot. Coach Butts yelling circle, and she's making one around the center circle, slowly turning and trying to turn around this match against Gongorga. That was kind of a cagey last minute there. She was the aggressor, but unable to do anything. Shattuck is suddenly in the pin at the very end. An odd situation, but Shattuck was just able to hold on there. It's a nice job by her opponent, Zachary Roman, to make that match interesting. Final score is going to be 10-7, but Brooklyn Shattuck will move on to the semifinals. And she gets the cheer from the Petaluma fans. She will face Dylan Baltazar, her teammate, in the next match, already guaranteed a Petaluma finalist. 2 more minutes to go in front of me. Amelia Grevin, not the first time her hairnet is being adjusted. Shaylin Larson, I should say, getting ready for her match to start. Kimberly Larson, Shaylin Baker, Kimberly Larson, both in the second weight class of JV, and it's Gaucho versus Trojan, as she's taking on Jake Bolick. With the girls team nowhere else to go today, put them in JV, and obviously an excellent test and an excellent tune-up for all these girls wrestlers before they head to Albany High next weekend for NCS. And very young team. In fact, every single wrestler is an underclassman this year for the varsity girls, but they filled a team, and in the 3 schools that have girls teams, CASA, American Canada Vintage, the 3 others, Petaluma did not lose. Had a really tight one with Vintage, who's one of the better girls programs in the state. But they won on criteria. It went down to individual what happened in matches after, by points, they tied 30-30. Grevin, Shattuck, Larson, and Pobey all had, Logan Pobey all had good victories for Petaluma. Larson trailing 2-0. The minute remaining in the first. We're going to get you the end of Grevin's match and see if she can turn around and make a comeback here. But Gongorga has done a nice job being defensively in control of this match. And after Grevin fell behind early, she's been working to make up the points, but it's been a challenge. Now Gongorga grabbing that back heel. Nice turn. 1:10 remaining. With the head coach of the girls team, Mike Butts, yelling instructions. The talented Amelia Grevin. Final 2 matches of this first weight class. And again, that hairnet falling off. It's those long braids that really cause a problem on the back of Grevin's head. Dangle out, got to corral them, makes it awfully tough. They just spent about 3 minutes, I would say, tending to Grevin's hair, trying to get it in order. And Coach Butts also probably using it to give her some instructions for the final 40 seconds of the match. Gongora on top, 20 seconds remaining. And it looks like, unless Grevin can do something radical in the final 20 seconds, it's going to be a hard-fought victory for him. Just in the top half of this first JV section, Shattuck probably the favorite. That will do it. Gongora over Amelia Grevin, the freshman, wrestling up against the boys. Never easy She battled hard, but just unable to really get anything offensively going there. And she falls. We're moving on deeper to these first round of JV matches. Casa and Petaluma, the two biggest teams here. Not a surprise that we're going to be seeing a lot of them matching up. Just 2 weeks ago, Petaluma defeated the Gauchos in their dual meet, and then they faced off last Saturday in the Constellation semifinals up at Eureka in the NCS dual tournament, which Petaluma also won. Here we're seeing Shaylin Baker taking on Trevor Leibel of Casa Grande. They've just started off their match here in the second weight class for JV. Another freshman girl for Petaluma, part of their bright future. Baker using her strength here early, try to install her will. Put the hand on that back leg right now for Trevor Leibel. And Baker turned over, 2 points for the reverse. See the caution tape here out of these bats, try to keep people off. They make it look a little bit more like a crime scene though, and doesn't surprise me. I've seen some things on the wrestling mat that anywhere else in society, you would charge them as a crime. Baker will take the bottom. She trails 2-0, 30 seconds remaining here in the first. It can be challenging, obviously just biologically, strength-wise. Guys have more. Shattuck, one of the strongest players you could see. She could help turn things around. We have seen a Petaluma victory. Another one on the girls' mat. Logan Pomey has defeated a Gaucho wrestler. She's on to the semifinals. That is the end of one. Baker trailing 2-0. Shattuck and Pomey probably the two most talented wrestlers. Pomey, an 8th grade state finalist. Part of that trio of talented Trojan wrestlers that came up from the junior high. Southside Chather's been dealing with injuries, but all three went to state. And they came in with a lot of promise, a lot of attention into Petaluma High. And the second tier freshmen are really just as talented, just with less fanfare. That could be to their advantage. Baker trailing 2-0 early. It's kind of that challenge. How can you turn defense into offense? Sometimes you just got to get up, stand up, Coach Butts is saying. That can be awfully challenging, especially when you got a good 120 pounds right on your back. C. Baker trying to get to her side, find a way to get across Leibel's grasp, but Leibel now using the circle, turning her up. Baker, you got to keep on moving, otherwise they'll reset it because it's a stall. Right now doing a good job. 3 Trojans on 3 rats right now. Trojan JV boys are getting back at it. Carlos Coleto Garcia has just opened his match and he's quickly got 2 points. Very strong. He's got the Gaucho in the pin. 20 seconds, Carlos Coleto Garcia. That's making things look easy. See, dominates there. Not even enough time to find what the Gaucho wrestler's name was. And he will move on to the semifinals. He has a varsity future, there's no doubt about it. It'd be fun to watch in some of the finals. 1 point as we were gone, Baker finally got the escape. cut the lead 2-1. That's 5 seconds remaining here in the second. But 2 points for the takedown right there. Those are 2 big points for Leibel. And Baker's really battling hard, really trying, but she's going to need to make some adjustments. On the far mat, more Trojan wrestling. 2-0 Napa leading, as this is Butch Aguiar against Miguel Bustos. And Aguiar not in a good position. The freshman and Bustos got him in the pin. Aguiar squirming around like a bug, able to get away. Nice job, but that's 3 more points tapped on for the near fall. It's 5-0. End of 1 there. Aguiar in trouble against Bustos. Baker decided to start on top to hope for some more offense, trailing. Maybe get a throw in there, but you could kind of just lie on the ground in a sleepy position if you're liable and run out the clock. Just you got to make sure to stay active. That's part of the strategy. Homie and Shattuck have moved on. 2 varsity girls wrestlers. We've seen Larsick and Grevin fall. We're not done yet with the girls' side of this Petaluma roster, who've become much bigger for us. 3 big seniors last year graduated, making it younger, but Cindy Diaz, who was #1 seed in NCS last year, just missed out on state 2 years in a row. Part of the inspiration for a lot of these girls wrestlers was calling that Casa match with Sarah Cook-Markovich, as suddenly a pin position here for Baker. She gets the pin. Out of nowhere, Baker turned around this match 5.5 minutes in, and all you have to get is the right move, and Baker studs Leibel with the pin to move on. We're talking about the inspiration Sarah Cook-Markovich was with a lot of these girls wrestlers from the older ones, Solly Calderon, Melissa Archer, the 2 other seniors last year that all went to NCS and were a big part of this Petaluma girls wrestling team and getting more girls to wrestle. And you're seeing the talent. How about that tenacity to fight back against the rival Gaucho and get a victory? Impressive by Baker. Start of the second period over on mat number 3. And it's Petaluma versus Napa. As it's Riddick, or this is Butch Aguiar against Miguel Bustos. Riddick James is who you saw earlier, who was pinned. Aguiar currently trailing 6-1. Variety of depth on this JV team. Goes all the way up to seniors on JV, which is such a stacked team, and they have a good chance to make a statement of their final match ever that they'll wrestle in. Potentially win, get a medal around your neck for JV, it means a lot. This is the 4th weight class here. The winner will face Logan Pomey. Drone wrestlers already moved on in the semifinals. 1 point for infraction there, can't lock your hands. Bustos gets some instructions, but 7-2 he still leads. James trailing 9-0 in the 3rd on the other match. It's a packed gym, really lively atmosphere here this morning, and it's 9 a.m. singing the national anthem. The energy in the gym, you wouldn't expect it. Here's some energy from Aguiar. Gets the escape. It's 7-3. Facing a hometown wrestler in Bustos. Aguiar trying to get aggressive. Lower that head like a bull. And power through. But it requires a lot of strength. 2 points for the turnaround there for Bustos to go back up 9-3, and Aguilar starting to tire out as he reached the end of 4. Dangerous position for him. This is going to be a long match, and the endurance so vital, especially over the course of the evening as well, the morning into evening, I should say. So you can wrestle 3 matches over the course of the day. How do you rest yourself, hydrate, get some nutrition, and the time that you have to get ready for your next match? James has fallen 12-2 on the far mat. Aguilar having a discussion with the referee. He's trailing 9-3. JV 10 weight classes. I'll try that again, 12 weight classes. It's full 12 weight classes. Wasn't sure how they were deciding it this year. And there's last year at SCLs, there weren't that many JV matches just because Petaluma was one of the few teams that had a large amount of JV wrestlers. It's not the case here. 2 points for the takedown for Aguilar. And suddenly, he's found some energy. Bustos trying to swerve away, try to get a point for an escape. Head in between the thighs. Aguilar trying to spin out of that uncomfortable position. Aguilar literally trying to lift, Bustos trying to lift Aguilar up in the air with your back. Saw Colin Prieto able to complete that move. Aguilar trying to circle. And a lot of Trojan supporters. He's right in front of them, telling him to circle. Keep on moving. And suddenly Bustos there, he could see the pain. Aguilar succumbing and the momentum seemingly sapped. And now he trails by 6. Aguilar, 2 points for the reversal. Hanging around, but he's only got 30 seconds. We saw Baker with a last-minute pin. Can Aguilar outdo her? And again, he just has these moments, it looks like he gets a little tired. So they're going to halt play, let them get back up at 13-8 now. Aguilar leading by 5, only 15 seconds remaining. That will do it. 14-8, Aguilar takes the fall. Had a couple good moments against Bustos, but you know, only a freshman, you want to see those good moments, and hasn't put it all together just yet, but that'll come with time. A little more Trojan v. Trojan. Asher King, who's one of the more promising JV wrestlers for Petaluma, taking on Joseph Minicon. 2 sophomores. Minicon in his first year, King in his second. And you always look at results from JV wrestlers, especially at the large tournaments. King, especially of late, with some exceptional results, including just a couple weekends ago winning up at Ukiah, the Empire Invitational. And he's quickly got Minicon in his clutches, who's squirming away. King hoping for a quick pin here. These two were talking before their match, chatting it up, smiling, but it will only be King smiling at the end of that one. Well, Minicon's not too unhappy about it, though. He knows he was going up against a good one. Asher King, all likelihood, will be on varsity next year. He's part of the future as the Trojans lose 19 seniors. He will move on. And we will move on to more Petaluma matches as we near the halfway point of the first round here in JV. Start here in the 7th weight class, Robert Gomez of the Trojans and Thomas Manan-Busan of American Canyon. And quickly, Manan-Busan throwing Gomez to the ground. You go with your throws, you like your strength, and then some. Gomez quickly on the defensive here, needing to battle. And Gomez trying to turn around and get a throw of his own. He'll get 2 points for the takedown, or they're going to call a reversal to rule it. So we're tied at 2 here. These are 2 aggressive wrestlers. That will raise quality of this, if not a pin. Gomez trying to finish Busan. They got very close to at least getting points for the near fall. There is the pin. Busan came out firing, and Robert Gomez had a response. The sophomore in his second year wrestling. We'll move on to the semifinals. We're getting a little break as Trojans don't have as many wrestlers at the heavy levels. But we'll see some of the more experienced Trojan JV wrestlers coming up next. That starts off here with senior Japin Betancourt as he's taking on Adrian Cabrera of Sonoma Valley. Winner will take on Parker Loden of Petaluma, or Chris Duran of the Dragons. In the next round, Loden's match coming up in a minute, as is seniors Nathan Turner. Quick start for Betancourt, 2-0 over Cabrera here in the 9th weight class. Obviously, Sonoma Valley and Petaluma, no strangers to being on the mat together. As old SCL foes now in the VVAL. Petaluma has defeated Sonoma Valley 3 straight years. Last 2 years was the difference in winning SCL. This year, Sonoma Valley was certainly competitive. Finished 3-3 in the VVAL and had a couple close matches. They could have easily been 4-2. Only the Casa at Petaluma really dominated them. Betancourt is in domination early. Trying to turn Cabrera. Got both head coaches in his corner, literally and figuratively. And a quick pin for Betancourt. Domination there took less than 90, so just over 90 seconds. Betancourt on to the semifinals. One of the seeders we talked about, a chance to make a memory in his final tournament. Getting ready to go with Loden and Duran. Another Trojan senior. Out number 33 so far this morning. Loden in the 9th weight class. In the heavies now for JVs. Heavies they go. In junior varsity. Many seeders would be varsity wrestlers of any of these other teams in the VVAL, but not Petaluma as they go for their first ever Vine Valley Athletic League pennant. And it would be their 3rd league pennant in a row. Unprecedented in Petaluma history if they're able to do just that. I'm just waiting for a referee, and see it's a busy day for the refs. Got to have a lot of referees out, a lot of scorekeepers. So a lot of responsibilities that come into it. Requires a lot of organization, and Napa High's doing a great job putting this on. 3 mats, packed gym, plenty of seating, plenty of fans, good food, lively atmosphere, and the refs have been all in order. It's been good organization so far, makes everything go smoother, faster, and everyone leaves happy. Looking forward to see some very good varsity matches. Some top wrestlers in the state try to start into NCS and make a statement. No score here for the first 30 seconds. And a KG start, both dipping heads and looking for the upper hand. Duran. Hang below Loden, trying to turn him around. Loden circling like a shark. He's got a grip on that head there, trying to reach around and grab the shoulder. That will be 2 points for Loden for the takedown. Winner will face Betancourt. 15 seconds left here in the first. Oh, beautiful spin move by Duran. Trying to turn the tables, but he won't get any points for it. 5 seconds left in the first. Loden gets back on top. And that is the end of 2 minutes. Well, not best of 3, maximum of 3. Each 2-minute rounds. And all you have to do is be ahead at the end of it, but obviously a pin, and you win. Loden takes the top. Turning, got him in the pin. All he needs to do is finish here. Hold on, and he has. Parker Loden, the pin started off cagey. Got to make a nice move. Took the offensive, was aggressive, not afraid. Can't be when it's your wrestling in dwindling matches of your career and you're in the twilight. Loden moves on to the semis where he'll face teammate Betancourt, another guarantee for a Trojan wrestler in the final. Josh Bias, final JV first round match here for Petaluma. He faces Leopoldo Contreras. Just heard the announcement that varsity matches will start in 2 minutes. So we will see the opening of varsity wrestling here. Will decide the league pennant and decide who moves on to NCS. Bias has been very quickly pinned in 21 seconds by his Grizzly opponent. So we have varsity wrestling coming up next. The varsity Trojans 6-0 at VVAL. Now can they secure a league pennant here tonight? We are underway with varsity matches, and Petaluma is starting it off with senior Mac Shattuck here on the first round for Mac. And the back-to-back SCL individual champion is sophomore junior. Much bigger challenge for him here now as a senior in the much better VVAL. Will not be easy for him. And he has a loss this year at VVAL. He currently leads 4-1 at the end of one, taking on an American Canyon wrestler. It's Napa actually. Brandon Bledsoe of Napa. These are 2 good wrestlers here. Shattuck getting the 4 seed, the 5 seed, Bledsoe the 4. Aaron Villacarlos of American Canyon is the top wrestler here in the 134 weight class. These are 2 good varsity wrestlers in an early quarterfinal match. I'm expecting a full 6 minutes between these 2. On the far mat, varsity matches, the road to a league pennant. Shattuck was 3-2 in VVAL. He did not lose against Napa. His losses come to Aaron Villacarlos, the 1 seed against American Canyon. He also lost against the Sonoma Valley wrestler. Wrestled varsity, had 1 forfeit. Great leader, also a cornerback, great strength as well. He's got the leg. Bledsoe, a junior. One of Napa's top wrestlers. And the Napa program, which long dominant here in Napa High. They've been through some tougher times. It's Shattuck trying to turn him. Shattuck is turning Bledsoe, and Bledsoe able to get away, but 2 points for the takedown. 6-2, Shattuck leads. Napa was 3-3 this year in VVAL. Head coach Nacho Franco in his 3rd season, who I was actually just chatting with, the lead organizer of this tournament. Shattuck in command of one of Napa's better wrestlers. Brandon Bledsoe, he was 3rd in the Monticello Empire League last year, and he's beaten Dominic Butts this year, but sometimes you see a shifting of the weight classes. Well, it will mean a lot if Shattuck can head to NCS in his senior year, and no doubt he can make a statement there. Won't be seeded, but he was 2-2 last year at NCS. Wants to go a little bit deeper, maybe make it to the quarters. Bledsoe taps out. 6-2, Matt Shattuck leading the Napa junior. Bledsoe also finished 3rd at the Green and Gold tournament in San Marin. Shattuck got the leg, got the throw. Shattuck might be small, but he has the strength to get quality throws. That will be the end of 2. Late 2 points there added on for the takedown for Bowers. Bledsoe, I should say. 4-6. It's not a comfortable margin by any means for Shattuck. You also have to keep your guard up the whole time. Obviously a pin and a match can turn just like that. A lot of eyes on this one. 6 for Shattuck. Cheers for some of the other matches. 3 varsity matches at a time. Shattuck taking defense here, letting Bledsoe do the work. If he can just hold on here, stay defensive, that might be all the difference for Shattuck for a chance to move into the semis, where you have an awfully tough matchup with one of the better wrestlers in the VVAL from American Canyon, Aaron Villacarlos. Finished undefeated in the Vaughn Valley. One minute remaining, and Shattuck is still as a rock. Solid 2. Shattuck, the reversal as Bledsoe tried to get a little too aggressive, and Shattuck made him pay. Now he's on top, and he should be able to finish this out. 45 seconds remaining. 8-4. Shattuck leads. Bledsoe trying to circle and get away, but it does not look like it's going to be enough. And Shattuck has been so good at these tournaments. Some exceptional performances this year. He's a fighter. We saw it against his win against Vintage. His nose kept on bleeding. He will fight to the finish, and he does not like to go down with a loss. He will not here. He's on to the semifinals. 8-4 over Brandon Bledsoe, who's one of Napa's top wrestlers. Shattuck a little bit better, a little bit stronger, and a little bit more endurance. The conditioning pays off as well. Big cheer for the Petaluma crowd. Shattuck on to the semis. All right, this is a match we were looking forward to as well. Tony Vitale and Brady Bledsoe. Already saw one Bledsoe brother fall to a Trojan. Vitale trying to make it 2 unhappy Bledsoe brothers. Vitale, the senior, his final VVAL tournament, and a champion last year. He's already in trouble though. Bledsoe. Vitale needing to squirm away. Won SCL last year. He's 3-2 in VVAL with losses to Vintage and American Canyon. This is Brady Bledsoe, the older brother of Brandon Bledsoe. Two seniors going at it. And Vitale just stuck here. 2-0 Bledsoe early. Brady Bledsoe, the less acclaimed brother, but the G's still strong. These are two strong wrestlers. And head coach Nacho Franco's wrestling powerhouse, that is Napa High School. Franco's been the coach for 21 years here at Napa High. And right now, Vitale just having to avoid the pin, and he's just gonna have to survive the next 30 seconds, try to avoid giving up points. It was an exceptional start to the match. Vitale nearly spinning away, but he's just in a horrible position right now. Now in danger again. It's Bledsoe trying to circle him around, and there is the pin. Disappointing start to the morning for Tony Vitale, and he will need to run his way through the constellation bracket if he wants to keep his season alive in NCS. Up against a tough opponent in a tough bracket. Vitale has his third VVAL loss of the year, and he'll need to win 3 matches in a row to go to VVAL. More Petalumas. We move over really into the heavies now. And it's Max Jaime for Petaluma. He's going to take on American Canyon. Jaime, I flicked up his name. It's Jaime Max. And he's facing Glenn Garduce of American Canyon. Max in his second year on this wrestling team as a sophomore. And he's been rough. He's had it not super experienced. He's had to take a lot of losses as a varsity wrestler for a Trojan team that doesn't have good depth at the heavies. And he'll need to battle against Garduce, a good wrestler from the Wolves. The winner will really get an honor. They'll get to face Tyler Winslow in the semis, who's currently ranked number 15 in the entire state. And that's just be special to take the mat with someone as talented as Winslow. It's Garduce 2, Max 0, and don't want to get on your back, especially for Max, who's not the most athletic wrestler in the book. Is a larger man here at the 222. Ryan Castiglia for Petaluma has just started his match on the other mat. The talented freshman getting a taste of the varsity level. We'll likely see it full-time next year. Castiglia at the 184, but he's got a handful too. He's facing one of Sonoma Valley's best wrestlers in Hank Schoening. And slow start to this one. Schoening is currently batting around Castiglia. Skilled freshman, but very raw. No score. We'll update you on both of these as they go along. Schoenig's got Castiglia on the pin, and he's got a painful armbar, and he's got a pin. Easy work for Hank Schoening on Ryan Castiglia. They're just resetting over here. The 222. Showing it's going to be tough for Castiglia to try to make NCS at his first appearance, but he's really just getting the opportunity at the varsity level. And Max has also fallen. It's not a strong heavyweight group for Petaluma, and they're young. They're going to take time to develop, and they will continue to. They cannot just cruise through this like it's SCL, as Max was pinned at the 222. Both wrestlers, their days aren't done. They go into the constellation bracket, but it means for a wrestler like Max, he'll need to win 3 matches in a row now if he would like to go to NCS. That's going to be a challenge. No more heavies for Petaluma. Jack Santos who has been the one heavyweight that's seen some success this year, not wrestling. His season is done. Injuries do happen, but at least Petaluma's lack of depth, they're not even filling every class. 285, which Derek Honey has filled most of the year. He has gone to NCS the last 2 years, but will not this year. He was also not entered. Seeing Casa Grande and Napa. It's Josmar Altamirano against Marcus Lex, and just as I say that, the senior Lex is moving on. He's the 4th seed in this bracket. He's moving on to the next round. A quick pin in just 40 seconds. He will move to the semifinals. And he will face the winner of this match here at the 222. And it's JP Neguloa and Dominic Smith. Smith of Vintage, Neguloa of Justin Sienna. And Smith trying to install his will. He's the 2 seed. And he'll potentially get Tyler Winslow in what should be a good 222 final, we assume. 10 seconds remaining. Smith leading 2-1 as he gets the points for the takedown. They're about to head to the lightweights where there are more buys for Petaluma. Nick Trabe, the leader of that Young Guns. And Smith is beating up Negulo. He's been holding his shoulders, grimacing much of this match, and he's still holding it. That's not a good sign if you're a Brave fan. He takes a look at head coach Jason Graducci. Give instructions. Graducci's done a nice job building some talented wrestlers with not a lot of resources at the private Catholic school, Justin Sienna. One Smith leads. Graducci in his 6th year, and the rest has been some success for Justin Sienna, 2006 NCS champions. And we'll likely see Cooper Cohey going up against Nick Trabe in the 106 final. That will be a good match. It's a good match for Trabe, who is a sophomore, is now eyeing an NCS run and maybe an appearance at the state level, currently ranked in the top 60 in the state. 5-1. Smith leads, going for the legs, trying to get aggressive and finish this off. We reach the halfway point of this match. Smith steps out. Here at the 222. These are big guys, getting physical. You get someone to the ground, it's nights out. And there goes Smith. And just like that, he's got him in the pin. That's exactly why it's nights out. Now Neguloa, the junior, has to really battle to stay alive. It's going to be tough for him. Smith got him in his throttle. In his clutches. It's going to hard to let go. There is the pin. Big move by Smith. Got him to the ground. Talented wrestler from Vintage, Dominic Smith. Only has 1 VVAL loss all year. That's to Tyler Winslow. We're likely going to see them at the 222 final. We're on to JV semifinals and finals. Chances to finish out on top for young wrestlers to make a statement to be on varsity next year, and for the upperclassmen and seniors, a chance in their final matches to remember. Sophomore Zach Engler in his 1st year of wrestling. Here in the semifinals, had a bye in the 1st round. He's going up against American Canyon. Juan Madrigal. Engler had a nice start to his year. This is in the 3rd weight class. Had some very good performances, but Madrigal so far got the back leg, and Engler squirming around trying to get away. Engler very free-flowing, a little bit all over the place, but that can be used to your benefit in wrestling. He's the younger brother of a gymnast too. Savannah Angler, now a senior, also a cheerleader. Angler trailing 2-0 early here. A nice job by the Wolves wrestler to be out in front. .30 seconds remaining in the first. Trojans won back-to-back SCL titles, hoping for their first VVAL title here. Future should be bright for many more. They win today. They're going to go for 4 straight next year. That'll be a big challenge, though, with all the seniors they lose, but these young JV wrestlers are hopefully the future. We got now 3 Trojans on 3 mats as Angler trying to stand up here in the last 10 seconds, but having some troubles here against a good American Canyon wrestler that's already fresh off a victory. It's the end of 2 minutes. Match for the championship between 2 Petaluma wrestlers, and these are 2 good ones. One of the more talented freshmen for Petaluma, Dylan Baltazar, and varsity girls star, Brooklyn Shattuck. They know each other well, and they're going at it. Shattuck trying to return to state this year. Journey starts here and then at Albany next week. Baltazar was 4-1 at the Healdsburg Dual Tournament. He actually has a varsity win against American Canyon this year. He's had a fantastic year as only a freshman. He's already knocked off his teammate Bianchi in the first. Engler has just fallen in the semifinals. He'll drop into the 3rd place match. It's 2-1 here between these 2 teammates with Baltazar 1-point lead, 40 seconds remaining. Shattuck won at the Wolfpack Invitational. Baltazar was 5th there. That was Shattuck wrestling against the girls that time, but she can wrestle against the boys as we mentioned. Speed Dustin Sienna. Obviously the younger sibling of Max Shattuck, 2 wrestling stars, but Brooklyn probably stronger. Baltazar starting to get in trouble. And the clutches of Brooklyn Shattuck, and there is the pin. Brooklyn Shattuck is an absolute beast, and she's tearing through boys right now. Who says boys are better than girls? Impressive by Brooklyn Shattuck. She's on to the finals, and she'll have a chance for a JV Boys VVAL title. More girls against boys here, and it's Logan Pomey for Petaluma, another younger sibling of Trojan wrestlers. We'll see Derek Pomey in a matter of moments on the varsity mat and varsity semifinals. Pomey had a nice job winning her first match. Here in the Baltazar and Shattuck match in the first round. And now here in this 3rd weight class with Pomey. 4th, I should say. Pomey already knocked off a Gaucho and Tim Vestinas, and now against Miguel Bustos, who we saw beat Butch Aguilar earlier. And so far it's the experienced Bustos. You can tell his experience. He's got a game plan going into these matches, up 2-0. Performed well against Aguilar. Got a good match to the left of us too. 2 more very talented JV wrestlers in Asher King and Carlos Coleto Garcia, who both had pins in 30 seconds. A minute is gone in their match, and they are 0-0. You can see the smile on Coleto Garcia's face. It's like he knows King's every move, and when you're in a similar weight class, you do a lot of wrestling together. You're often sparring partners. Adds to the fun. This is in the weight class 3. The winner will face Madrigal of Canyon, and we saw beat Engler. No score here with a minute left. 10 seconds left here. Pomey has turned the table. She leads 3-2, trying to get the pin. Bustos just getting out of it. That's the end of 2. Back over on the left mat, and King on top, literally and figuratively, and now he turns Coleto Garcia, Asher King, a JV star in the making, trying to move to the finals. Mentioned King's exploits in his first match, especially recently. He's really improved over the course of the season. Coletto Garcia's done a nice job, though. He was third at the Wolfpack Invitational in American Canyon. Not far from here. King just holding on to his teammate right now, trying to not let him get away. 15 seconds left, and there's the pin for Asher King. He's on to the finals, where he'll face a good Wolves wrestler. That'll be a good match. Pomi trying to do the same thing. We've already seen Shattuck trying to be the third JV wrestler to go on. JV team for Petaluma did not lose any league match all year long. And numbers are typically huge for varsity. Not as much this year. It's more about talent because most VVAL teams, with the exception of Justin Sienna, fill a full team. But on JV, it's very much about the numbers, and Petaluma definitely has that. But they have some talent, too. Pomi and Bustos about halfway through this one. And Pomi leading 6-3. Slow start for her as she had in her first match, but she has taken the upper hand. Pomi won against American Canyon, as against Sonoma Valley's girls, and again Vintage as well. Sophomores also on the varsity softball team. Very, very athletic family. 40 seconds remaining in the second period. Bustos trying to turn this around. There are 2 points for the takedown. Pomi finished 5th at the prestigious San Leandro High Girls Invitational back in December. It's been a good year for her. Went to state as an 8th grader, made NCS last year. Now this year she's hoping to go to state. She's getting a good test going up against a boy. 5 seconds left, she still leads 6-2. Bustos a little bit of momentum. That's the end of 2. 2 more minutes for Pomi to move on. The fast action continues with Jacob Betancourt, who had an easy first match victory, and he's already up 2-0 here in the 5th weight class. Oh, this is Lucas Betancourt, my bad. He's taking on Nico Midaris. Saw his older brother win. Lucas could easily be wrestling at the varsity level. He has a couple times this year with success. And a lot are painting him as the captain for next year. As a junior, won't be a lot of seniors next year for Petaluma. He'll be one of the few. He's very talented, very hard worker, very strong. Got a bye in the first round, and he's currently in command against Menderos, trying to move on to the final. And Betancourt here, trying to get the pin. And see the pain excruciating on the face of Menderos, trying to stay alive for 8 more seconds. We're going to get back to Pomi's finals. 90 seconds of our match in a minute, as Betancourt has the pin. He's moving on to the finals. And the applause from the Petaluma fans there, a large proportion of the supporters in this gym. And this morning, that's getting ready to turn towards the afternoon. The long 40-minute drive, but Petaluma supporters come out and support, no doubt about it. Final 90 seconds for Pomi. She now trails 7-6. The winner to the finals as she faces Miguel Bustos. Coach Butts, head coach of the girls team, done such a great job building a program for the first year this year, actually having a girls team that wrestled alone, had other VVAL teams that had a girls team, and having a varsity girls team, really continuing to encourage the sport. Pomi will get the escape. We are all knotted at 7, haven't seen an overtime yet. This one's pretty even and pretty good. Pomi strike of a barber, and she turns around Bustos. Bustos enters with a move of his own. So he takes the lead on the reversal. 30 seconds remaining. 9-7. Pomey desperately trying to get over. They're close to the end. And Bustos able to hold on. 20 seconds left. Does Pomey have a last surge here? This has been a good one. And that will do it. Back and forth that one went. It's not going to be enough for Logan Pomey. She's disappointed. She's going up against a good wrestler. She will move on to the third place match as Bustos goes on to the final. We've got another old Petaluma duel as it's senior against senior. And for one right here, one will have their final match, not in a, well, but for both, it will be their penultimate match of their career. For one, an opportunity to win a championship. For the other, they'll go to the third place match. Has to be emotional for both, and you can see the fight on both sides. They're not going to be afraid of each other, even though they're teammates. No doubt about it. Quick start here, 2-1. Betancourt trying to turn over Loden. Betancourt has the experience, and Loden's quickly in trouble. Saw Jacob's younger brother, Lucas, already move to the finals in his weight class. This is in weight class number 9. Loden in trouble. Betancourt already up 4-1. Loden needing to arc the head back to stay alive. Can he spin out of it? It's going to be awfully tough. Betancourt in control. There is the pin. Held Loden until Loden could not hold on anymore. And Betancourt emphatically moves on to the finals in weight class 9, where he'll have a chance to go out on top in his wrestling career as he gets ready to graduate. A hug from the senior teammates, and we're going to move right over to see Nathan Turner make his VVAL tournament championship debut. And he's going up against the Gaucho, another senior in his penultimate match, as he takes on Logan Labo. Both of these wrestlers had byes in the first round, and they're both good. Turner leads 3-0. Labo going to the throws to try to get back in this one. And Turner able to get the escape spin out of it. Turner's smart, but he's strong too. His parents own one of the CrossFits in town in Petaluma. Spends plenty of time there working out, but the endurance is good too. It's cross country and varsity track runner. So a lot of good attributes. It has translated well to the wrestling mat in his first year. And his last year, he's had some excellent accomplishments. Turner in command against Labo, leading 6-0. Turner, just his second tournament he competed in. He took first place at the Vallejo High tournament. That's been the start of his success this year. Won on his senior night against Casa. He's got Labo in his clutches, trying to finish him off. Labo just able to hold on. There's the pin. Nathan Turner, the senior, moving on to a championship match and a chance to go out as champions. He's had a great year. There's more Egg Bowl wrestling here in the semifinals. And so far an even match on this middle mat. 3-2, the Gauchos are leading as Robert Gomez goes up against Jackson Cope. And Jackson Cope has just moved on to the finals. Gomez, a young, wily sophomore, but after his nice first victory, not that time, as he falls to Cope, who will move on to the finals. So the senior, Tony Vitale, he needs to win 3 straight matches to keep his career alive. It's been a storied career for the senior, honored at senior night on Wednesday. But after an opening loss to a good Napa wrestler in Brady Bledsoe, he's got a lot of ground to make up. Got to win this one, then he'll face a wrestler that's coming off a loss in the semis. Then he'll come off a wrestler that in the next round, if he wins this, he would face the other wrestler that won the other constellation match in this bracket. And then he would face a loser in the semis. Vitali, aggressive early here. He does not look happy, not used to losing a lot. The defending SCL champion. 2 points for the takedown, and that will be the end of the first round. 2-0. Vitali taking on Seol Har, who's also a senior, out of Justin Siena. The loser, this is it. Their careers will be done. Vitali, if he can win out, will go to NCS like he did last year. Get a chance for one more week with this team. Like family, everyone's so close. It would mean a lot to him. You know that. This is the talented Tanner McKinney's bracket at 172. He's the favorite for the Gauchos, and the Gauchos at the heavyweights have a couple wrestlers that should have shots at league pennants. They will need them to win if the Gauchos want to win VVAL. Vitali will get the escape, and he leads 3-0. 2 more points for the takedown, and he's just beating up Valley right now. 5-0. Valley tops out. Vitali's got a skip in his step. He's confident. He's wrestling well here. And right now, he looks comfortably on his way. And program in the Braves program, they're always 6 in VVAL, very small team. Jason Gaducci, though, a good head coach in his 4th year, has built some good wrestlers. Vitali's got to be careful here. Suddenly he's in a dangerous position, rolls around, and gets back in front, nearly a near fall. That would have gotten Valley back in this one. So now 7-0 with the reversal, 1:10 and counting left. And the senior Tony Vitali trying to turn things around. 2-year varsity cross-country runner as well. He's not going to get tired in these tournaments. Trying to salt Valley away, who's doing a valiant job of fighting. You've got to stay mentally strong. Vitali did that. Could have been frustrated by his last match. He's in a bad spot, but he routs Sao Valley, and he will move on to this second round of Constellation. 1 down, 2 to go to get back where he wants to go, and that's NCS. Nice job for the senior, Tony Vitali. And we will have a couple more Constellation bracket matches for the Trojans heavyweight, but we'll also have semifinal matches, and that starts right now. Here is Charlie Winter at the 113. Winter 2-2 in VVAL this year. Losses to Napa and Justin Siena. And he has already gotten the pin. Now, we basically got there at the start of the match. 40 seconds, Charlie Winter disposes of his Gaucho opponent. That's looked like what we saw last week. Some Trojan dominance over the green and gold, as Winter has no problem with that. Liam Walsh was his victim. Winter will move on to face likely Sebastian Medina, the talented Justin Siena wrestler, in the final. Charlie Winter moving on to the finals. He'll have a chance, after he was an SCL champion last year, to be a VVAL champion this year. We were wondering who Charlie Winter would face in the finals. Well, let's find out together. Tied at 5, 1:30 left in the second round. And Sebastian Medina of Justin Siena all knotted up with Elijah Baronia of American Canyon. In the semifinals of 115. Constellation and done for now. We're fully into the semis. Medina, sophomore, Baronia is as well. And Medina in trouble. Baronia, hold it on tight. On this far mat, far away from me as possible. Only a couple Herald wrestlers on American Canyon, one of the younger teams in the league. This is just an underclassman trying to make a name for himself, and he might get a big matchup with Winter, decide who's the VVAL champion. Medina will start on bottom. He's a little bit in trouble right now. Justin Sienna fans getting to look on. These vast expanses here at the Messner Gym, Napa High. The Grizzlies, who just renamed this year from Indians to Grizzlies. Been a lot of tumult here at Napa over the last couple years. Just had their principal fired. Hazing scandal with the football team. Wrestling's always been a strong spot, and wrestling's always been a point of pride here in Napa County. See a part of that here this afternoon. It has officially turned afternoon with the large crowds coming out and a lot of support. Medina trailing 10-5 here. Thought he might be the one to come out of that, but through two, as that second round was a big difference. Excellent job by Burania. He's got 2 more minutes to move on. Nick Trave has a bye all the way to the final, just because there are very few wrestlers at the 106 level. And Cooper Cohey from Justin Sienna looking as the likely opponent. Very skilled. That should be a really good match. They have never faced before. 2 young, talented guns in Trave and Cohey who have wrestled their whole lives. We got a lot of finals that are going to be good. Almost all the finals should be great, and that should be one of the best ones. Medina trying to turn the tables. He needs something, and he needs it fast against Beronia. And as Medina's trying for something, and Heronia's just holding on. Some of the other Trojan wrestlers who've had a long time to wait. They showed up here at 7 a.m. to get weighed in over 5 hours later, and they still haven't wrestled. Getting some stretches in. See Derek Pomey talking with Athletic Director Rick Christ of Petaluma. Colton Prieto has had a face of focus for the last 5 hours. Connor Pedersen, Petaluma's top wrestler as well, getting ready to go. All 3, Pomey, Pedersen, and Prieto, #1 seeds, and favorites not only to win at VVAL, but should have start at state next week at NCS. Only match left here, and Burania has taken the other hand. Medina will succumb, it looks like, under 30 to go. Burania in control to move on to the championship, where he will take on the senior Winter, who had a couple losses at VVAL this year, but weight classes switch, and this worked out for Winter. Got a bye, an easy victory, and he'll have a chance to become an individual champion, and then make a statement maybe next week at NCS. Burania 16-5 over Medina. He'll face Charlie Winter next, and we await more varsity semis. The debut in the VVAL Tournament Championship. Connor Pedersen, Colton Prieto, Petaluma Stars coming up next. Another good semifinal matchup here. In the opening moments, Benito Salvador of Napa taking on Ryan Nagel of Casa Grande. The Nagel brothers from the east side of Petaluma, 2 very talented wrestlers. We'll be hearing about Nagel if you're a Petaluma wrestling fan for a while. But he is currently trailing 2-0 to Benito Salvador, who's a talented Napa wrestler, sophomore. Salvador was 3rd in the Monticello Empire League last year as only a freshman. He's beaten Charlie Winter this year. He had a big victory against Vintage, and he's got Nagel in the pin position already, 90 seconds in. Salvador 7th in the green and gold, and he finished 9th at the prestigious Sierra Nevada Classic up in Reno. Salvador spinning Nagel around freshmen don't have a lot of experience. A lot of us can be learning, even with the talent. Salvador, command, he's got the back leg, leading 4-0. As this first set winds down. Salvador not letting Nagel away, knows he just has to hold on for a second more, but Nagel able to get the turn last moment and maybe turn around this match a little bit. Big play there, and suddenly 4-2. Victor Medina and Devin Gregangio at the 128 going at it. And we're going to see Dominic Butts in just a moment make his debut, the senior, for Petaluma. Medina could see Butts in the final at the 128. We saw those two wrestlers already face off this year, and it was a very fun match. Could hope to see that again. Medina trailing though 5-1. Back over to the other match. Nagel has turned it around with a pin. Now Medina on the other end, before I can even get my camera over, it's a pin. The Gaucho fan section, which is to the right of me, just exploded. A big moment for Casa as both of the wrestlers were trailing early, and they both get pins. Medina is on to the final, where it looks like he might just get a rematch with Dominic Butts in what should be one of the most intense finals. They wrestled a week and a half ago, and it was intense to say the least. Butts is going to have to take care of business first, though, as he's taking on Caden Parlett of Justin Siena, who's just a freshman. And aggressive to start here for Parlett. No points awarded, but Parlett takes the upper hand and tried to show off. Butts nearly gets the throw, Parlett, and turns it around. That's the reversal. Now Butts back on top. Both aggressive wrestlers. Butts, very athletic football player. He's run cross country, but he's most known for his lacrosse skill. We'll see him on the cross field very soon. Cross team actually starts their season. They have a scrimmage today against Tam, and they actually start their season next Friday. But they're going to be without Butts potentially for a week longer. If he can win this match, he'll automatically be headed to NCS. 4-0 Butts with 1:07 remaining. Parlett's coming off a victory against Schiffman of Sonoma Valley. Winner faces Medina of Casa. Colin Ferrero has started his match on the far match, but he is facing Jason Gaducci, one of the best wrestlers in the area, and Justin Siena's best wrestler, and it's going to be tough for the talented sophomore Ferrero, who is at the varsity level. We'll get to that match if we have time, but for Ferrero, it might just be how long can he survive, and the answer is no longer. You might have just heard the whistle. Ferrero has fallen to the #1 seed in the 122, Gaducci, who is going to face Nagel in the final. That could be an interesting one. Two young guns going at it. Here, Butts has got Parlett in his clutches, and there's the pin. Easy domination for the senior, Dominic Butts, at the 128, and we will get the rematch everyone wanted in this gym. Butts will face Medina again. That will be an absolute thriller. Butts and Medina faced off a week and a half ago. Butts won, but he came back, and it really turned around that Casa Petaluma Wrestling Egg Bowl last week. Moving right along here, another semifinal with Petaluma, and it's Max Shattuck, who's one of the only few wrestlers that's actually won already. Didn't get a bye, and Shattuck is quickly taking to the offensive to try to get to his third straight league final and win his second straight individual league title and help Petaluma win its third straight league pennant. But first ever in the VVAL. Quick 2 points to Shattuck. He's facing Tim Guyen, who had a bye in the first round here of the 134. And hoping, I'm sorry, he's facing Aaron Villacarlos. here who did have a bye, and he's the top seed here. This should be a good match. These two wrestled as well already this year, and it was Villa Carlos in a close match who won as he throws Shattuck to the ground. No points awarded, though. Nice job by Shattuck to avoid the points for a takedown. 1 minute remaining in the first. Shattuck 3-2 in VVAL this year. His 2 losses to Sonoma Valley and to Villa Carlos. Villa Carlos won 8-6 when those played, and Villa Carlos has not lost a VVAL match this year. The Wolf seed here was second in the Solano County Athletic Conference last year as a junior. The Wolves' best wrestler. Can see their head coach, Rick Manabuson, looking on. And Shattuck's been on the defensive, but he's just hanging on. These were very evenly wrestled last time out. Shattuck taps out. 2-2, 12 seconds remaining in the first. Head coach Paul Schlosser for Petaluma trying to provide some instructions here as well. Connor Patterson has started his match. We will take a look at that in a minute as Shattuck thrown to the ground by Manabuson. Villa Carlos, I should say. That's the end of one. Don't expect Connor Patterson to have much of a challenge on the far mat. His dad's not even watching him. His dad's watching Shattuck. Patterson, the number 1 seed and heavy favorite to take care of business. And there is the pin, Connor Patterson. It took 30 seconds. They haven't even started Shattuck's match. As Connor Patterson, Petaluma's best wrestler, an easy debut for him, an easy start. He defeats Nathan Schwartz of Napa. So he'll move on in the 154. I'm sorry, I have bad eyesight. That was Derek Pomey who's moving on at the 147 as he defeated Nico Smith of Napa. So Pomey moving on. He made it look so easy, I thought it would be Connor Patterson. But Pomey moving on to the championship to the 147. And after he sustained a pretty bad head injury last week against Casa, chance to redeem himself, and he also won an SCL championship last year. Shattuck has really neutralized this match. Him and Aaron Villa Carlos, 2 seniors nearing the end of their career. Whoever loses will have a chance in the 3rd place match to still qualify. A big crowd overlooking this high-quality match. These are 2 NCS wrestlers. Shattuck inching his way. He's just been below Villa Carlos, but he's really done an excellent job using his strength, using his tenacity, being a hard fighter, and not letting Villa Carlos do much. Over halfway through, still all knotted at 2 with 40 seconds remaining, as Shattuck again just taps out. What trick does Shattuck have in the bag to turn around this match? The winner will face Tim Nguyen, another senior from Casa Grande, in the final. Shattuck trying to get the points for the escape, but now he's thrown to the ground. Risky move by Shattuck, decided to get aggressive, and it cost them there, as Villa Carlos was able to do one of his signature throws, but still does not get the points for it. We have reached the end of 2. 4 minutes gone, and these wrestlers are even as can be. There's the score, there's the time, there's the period. And now it starts to be about endurance, conditioning. You've been working out in the weight room since September for this moment. Shattuck also plays football, so he's been working out in the weight room since June. What do these 2 have left in them in this huge match? Who can finish? Got a lot of uneven matches in wrestling. This is not one of them. Shattuck decides to take top. It's advantage to Villa Carlos, and he just gets the escape point. That is exactly the way to get back in it. So after trailing 3-2, we are tied as they gave Shattuck a late escape point at the end of that second period. Villa Carlos gets the leg of Shattuck. Shattuck tried to turn him around, but it does not work out. 2 points for the takedown for Villa Carlos. 5-3 lead for the Wolf. As would call the Costa fans have to be rooting for Villa Carlos as well. If Shattuck falls here, the glimmer of a hope continues for the Gauchos to win a VVAL title. Shattuck knocks out. You can see the exhaustion on his face. Does he have energy in this last minute 18 to complete a comeback? Or Aaron Villa Carlos, the top seed here in the 147, close it out. Younger sister Brooklyn's already had a big day. Skate points are what you want if you're Shattuck, but he can't, and he just has to worm his way out of the pin position. 1 minute remaining. Shattuck stuck. Villa Carlos using his stretch, try to hold on. Right in front of the Petaluma supporters trying to encourage him on. Shattuck takes a look at the clock. Only 40 seconds remaining. Now Villa Carlos got a hand on Shattuck's head. If Shattuck could just tap out, he's awfully close. Trying to get up, trying to turn it around, and he cannot get Villa Carlos to the ground. He nearly turned around the match with one throw. Now he gets the point for the escape. Villa Carlos let him go. 17 seconds left here. 5-4. This place is going mad. 12 seconds. Shattuck's got to make a move. Tries to go to the legs. Villa Carlos with the arms. 5 seconds left. Shattuck running out of time. You can see the exhaustion. One last chance, and it will not happen. Villa Carlos is held off Max Shattuck, who's exhausted as he looks at the clock and the score. What a match between these two. It was 1 point last time they faced off at the dual meet back in early January, and it was a thriller once again. Well, the senior back Shattuck will have to win to make sure he moves on to the NCS playoffs next week. Disappointed, but not for lack of effort. Those two were even wrestlers, but Villa Carlos just able to make the difference in the end. Just as that finishes, more Petaluma action on the mat. This has been exhausting if you're a Petaluma supporter, as Liam O'Neill, the first seed and undefeated in VVAL at the 140, takes on Casa Grande wrestler Trevor Chavez. O'Neill had a fantastic season, the senior. One of 22 seaters on Petaluma. Sees the spin move. He's athletic and smart. 2 key traits. And he's one that works hard at the gym, and he spends all his time. You see a lot of these other wrestlers play football or other sports. O'Neill, it's all about wrestling for him, and it showed this year as he gets 2 points for the takedown. He's really been dominant. O'Neill tried to move the arm, which was getting some frustration from some of the Gaucho supporters. But O'Neill in control here, 1 minute gone. The Gauchos 5-1. They're going to need some victories like this to make up for that one big loss in the loss column that they suffered last week to Petaluma. It was a 45-20 win for Petaluma. The Gauchos did well with the heavies, but it was Dominic Bat's match we mentioned turned it around. Petaluma finished the match with 7 victories in a row. O'Neill this year has had some amazing accomplishments, including at the Lou Bronson tournament at Brentwood, as he's trying to force, and now there will be the sideline. Chavez off to the sideline. The yelling is a Gaucho Dragon match off to the left. 13 seconds left for O'Neal here in the first. He looks calm and ready. At the Lou Bronson Brentwood, 3 state-ranked wrestlers, but he's a little inconsistent. He lost to those same 2 wrestlers at the Aptos Invitational just a couple weeks later. He's undefeated in VVAL. It just seems like it's kind of a focus thing for him. When he's focused, he can beat some of the top wrestlers in the state-ranked wrestlers. When he's not, he can falter a little bit. O'Neal will take bottom and try to add to his point total, leading 2-0 over the freshman Chavez. Another Gaucho Trojan battle will not be the last one. This is the son of the head coach for the Gauchos, Louis Chavez, 48 years old, and has talked a lot about his desire to beat Petaluma. He actually said at the beginning of the year that it could be us and them in the finals, that it could come down to who has a good day. Well, here is the finals. Who's going to have the good day? O'Neal's having a good day right now. He's not letting Chavez go. He's squirming away like a bug in the grasp of a predator. O'Neal turning around. Chavez looks in pain. He is fully at the wrath of the Trojan. Cruel and vicious in the pin position. O'Neal trying to finish. There's the pin. Liam O'Neal absolutely dominant over Louis Chavez's son. Not too nice to beat the head coach's son, but O'Neal had no mercy that time, and he's on to the final, trying to win his 3rd straight league championship title. Big cheers throughout the morning and now into the afternoon from a section clad in purple and white to my left. But every crowd's got their cheering section. A lot of the Dragon fans right in front of me. Justin Sienna, you can see to the far side, American Canyon. And you scroll over to Napa. Casa fans are to my right. Not a lot separates them from Petaluma, and Vintage fans on the far end. Everyone's got their section, and everyone has got an opportunity to make noise for their top wrestlers. Starting to head towards the heavies as Trojan wrestlers have had success. Connor Pedersen still awaiting his first match. In front of me, we have Pedersen's likely foe, Tucker Lanow, the senior. He's taking on Joshua Salazar of American Canyon. Lanow, state-ranked wrestler, and he's already faced Pedersen 3 times this year, including at a dual tournament. Expect to see them again, and expect it to be high-quality stuff in the final. Cagey match to start between these two. Lano staying calm. No points, 45 seconds in. Talented wrestlers on Vintage. They don't have the depth they maybe thought they were going to have this year, but there is definitely some high quality talent, and it starts with Lanow, senior captain. Vintage finished 2-4, just beat Napa last week on criteria. Thrilling match against the Grizzlies right here. Last year they beat Napa, and they won the King of the Valley Championship tournament, defeating American Canyon. Lanow was actually an underclassman at American Canyon, so always a little interesting when he faces World's wrestlers. Decided to transfer to Vintage last year. That's the end of one. Not much going on in that first. Lanow staying calm and cautious. Lanow's won the green and gold this year. 3rd at the Bill Martell, 3rd at the Bankston. This one is 2 returning from before Vintage wrestlers that went to the San Joaquin Section's Master event last year, which is, if you don't make it to state, another opportunity to continue. Lanow bouncing around, trying to get something going. Still no score. We'll get back to that one if anything interesting happens, but
to the Trojan match, and it's Colton Prieto who nearly is thrown out of the way and thrown into the ref. As Prieto, who's mentioned his focus, he, I think, is mentally the strongest wrestler on this Trojan team, and he's the #1 seed at 162. He's taking on Ryan Sherwood. He's one of Sonoma Valley's best wrestlers, the senior. This shouldn't be easy for Prieto. He's in one of the best weight classes, I would say, in terms of depth of wrestlers at 162 in the VVAL. Only 3 are going to make it to NCS, but I think there's about 5 or so that are probably good enough too. Prieto and Sherwood have not wrestled before.